Good morning. Good morning, Jim and Nan and everyone joining from wherever you are joining at whatever time, now or later. Hello, Leah and Helen. This is our 6 a.m. Pacific time moment of devotion with a reading from 365, Science of Mind, and some prayerful thoughts. Hello, Jill and Joylyn and Gail. This morning on February the 13th, our thought for the day is, I know only right action. Well, having now journeyed together for a month and a bit, we know there is a theme through the writing that suggests that as we stay our mind in the consciousness of unity with the divine, it is inevitable that we will spontaneously elect to choose things that are in alignment with that oneness, that divine, and that is the right action. So I know only right action is an outpicturing of the spiritual practice that we are doing together. So here, Dr. Holmes is talking about our practice. Remaining open to the love of the divine within ourselves can produce great results. And you've been sharing those results with me. I appreciate hearing about how this morning devotion is impacting your life and your choices. Though the essence of love may be elusive, well, we cannot see love. We can only see the results of it. We cannot see a spiritual principle. We can only see it in action. So that's what he means. Although it cannot be seen, it pervades everything, the essence of love. It renews our soul and uplifts our emotions. We can all live happily, harmoniously, and successfully with one another when each of us practices a conscious recognition of the presence of love within ourselves and within everyone. Okay. We can overcome the troubles and difficulties that we have allowed to enter our lives when we remember that love is that creating and sustaining presence within all. Yes, love is a terrific, powerful, creative power that we can use to set in motion new outcomes. I love that idea. God loves, moves, gives, and exists in me. Now, here is a phrase that I think we have to be quite cautious with. As I eliminate anger and resentment, the divine nature flows freely through me. Okay, out of context, it can sound quite superficial, just eliminate anger and resentment and then the divine will flow through me, when in reality, working to understand anger and resentment is a very worthy pursuit. For example, anger arises in people who have been overwhelmed with persistent negative experiences or views of the world, or people who have had trauma in huge amounts, or grief, or family systems that were not very good role models, or abused or neglected, and so on. So the spiritual work we are doing in no way dismisses those experiences, and indeed the spiritual work we are doing can go hand in hand with other appropriate therapeutic work. So embracing the whole constellation of what's going on inside of a person is very important. So, I don't know if you've had the experience when you're angry and somebody just says to you, stop being angry, it's not an effective response. In fact, it may deepen the anger. More importantly, understanding, embracing kindness and love. So while we are doing this spiritual work and you notice that you have persistent anger, then I think the work must continue in an additional therapeutic environment as well. You know, internal family systems is a great way to explore those voices inside of us that are disappointed, angry, confused, because typically those voices have a message for us. And it is often the case that anger is an indicator that there is a need in me not being met or a boundary that is being crossed. And so I don't want to just dismiss that. I want to learn about it while at the same time, in my spiritual practice, I'm aligning myself with the qualities of the divine. The life-giving qualities of the divine are forever in motion. And there is nothing in me that can stop, even for a second, the flow of divine energy. And there is only loving action, right action. The warmth of love circulates through my mind, my body, and my world. The energy that I would have used in being angry, I now release in love. So you can see this out of context again. We have to be careful. So if I am doing work to release energy, anger, then I can say, yes, I'm releasing that energy and I'm making more room, more spaciousness in me to express what I would call my authentic nature. But if I am not doing that work to release it, just the saying so of it may not be sufficient. So I now release in love. I dismiss all tendencies to be angry, fearful, or resentful. Again, there's a degree in everything. Sometimes I can just be straightforward, petty, you know, angry about not getting my way, jealous that somebody else got something that I wanted, and angry that theirs seemed to come to them by luck or without earning, whatever. So those pettinesses, I can say, I dismiss that. I get it. That's when I know what I'm up to and what I'm causing. So, it's in degree. There's a nuance to this work. And all the while, we are making space in our consciousness for the deepening awareness of our authentic self through our practice. So let's take a moment to let go of everything and enter into the consciousness of prayer. There is only one love. That love is the divine. And that love is perfect, all-embracing, unconditional, permanently present. And that love is my love right now. That love expresses itself through my heart, reveals itself through my thinking, expresses itself through my actions. That love is the love of every person listening, whether right now, live, or later on. I salute that love, not as a separate power, but as the power that animates my love. I embrace that love, and I trust it. I trust it to do in me that which fulfills my heart's desires, which is to live a full, rich, connected, deep life. I trust that love to bring me into effective expression in the world, planting new seeds that result perhaps not immediately, but in generations to come, that set a new standard of living together in harmony. And I embrace all parts of my being, and I embrace all methodologies and techniques to deepen my understanding of self. And as I invoke this awareness in me of the love that pervades the universe, I feel my deepening sense, well, of excitement for what is happening now. I'm deeply grateful that I now know that love is the center, the flame, the universe of my being. And I look forward to its expression today and every day that follows. And so it is. After this broadcast, I'm going to just sit for a moment, whether it takes 5 minutes or an hour. I will know when it's time to get up, as will you. And I'm just going to sit with the question, what would love have me do today? I thank you in advance for sharing this broadcast and helping me to share the word, the practice of Centers for Spiritual Living with the world by showing how one of the ways we might practice together. And if there is something incomplete in you, every broadcast has in the description the address for the World Ministry of Prayer. So please try them out. Licensed prayer practitioners are waiting to join with you, to partner with you in knowing and declaring, decreeing the spiritual truth for you. And for those of you who have the tradition of gathering on a Sunday for a celebration, my blessings to you. And I look forward to you being with us again tomorrow, same time. Please let me know where you're tuning in from. And also, again, thank you for your messages about how spiritual practice is enhancing your journey through this thing called life.